You're listening to the Fast Intentions Podcast. Now here are your hosts, Nathan and Todd.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fast Intentions Podcast.
Woo!
You're kind of far away from the mic, my friend. You may want to get a little closer. But welcome to Fast Intentions. I am your host with the most, Nathan, alongside my bald-headed father, Todd. I only say that because his hat's off, and I just realized it now. How you doing, buddy?
Humiliated.
No, you're not humiliated. It's okay. You still got hair up there.
Thanks.
I think you should shave your head, though. I think once you go, you can't go back. You gotta.
Sure.
Anyways, as you noticed this intro, I did not say the number because, as always, our segment is famous players who award the number of the episode. This is episode number 21. Never would have thought we made it 21 episodes, but here we are. I say that every episode, too.
Yes, you do.
Yes. So, how many 21s do you happen to know off the top of your head?
Let's see. Sammy Sosa.
He's not in the top 10 here.
Paul O'Neill.
He's not on here either.
Tiki Barber.
Sammy Sosa's 13th on this list.
Well, I was thinking about 21 earlier in the week, and I was actually having trouble coming up with 21s.
Oh, well, get ready for this. There's a lot of 21s I know.
Yeah.
You ready?
Okay.
Roberto Clemente,
Oh, that's a good one.
the first one.
That's a good one. That might be the winner right there.
Tim Duncan,
Not bad.
not bad. One of the greatest power forwards of all time.
Not bad.
Deion Sanders,
Ooh, prime time.
Kevin Garnett,
With big ticket.
Dominique Wilkins,
Ooh, human highlight reel.
LaDainian Tomlinson, if I say his
LT,
name right.
good. Most touchdowns in NFL fantasy football history in a season, I believe.
Charles Woodson,
Not bad. Hall of Famer. Just last year.
Jimmy Butler,
Jimmy Butler. The Butler did it.
Joel Embiid.
Oh, you just said how much you hated him last podcast.
I like him, but I hate him on the Sixers
Oh, there you go.
because the Sixers suck. Frank Gore,
Not bad.
that's a hockey player. I don't know who that is. Peter Forsberg, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa,
Sammy Souser.
yeah. Warren Spahn.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a call to for later. Patrick Peterson.
Nice.
Roger Clemens.
Oh, that's a antithesis of you
Michael Cooper.
from the Showtime Lakers.
Yep.
Oh.
Don Sutton.
Oh, that's a good throwback.
Dave Bing.
Who?
He's a famous basketball player.
Dave
Dave
Bing?
Bing. Yeah, he's a Hall of
Celtics?
Famer. He has a Detroit jersey.
Detroit. Oh, okay.
I didn't know who he played for because he was on the NBA 75 anniversary team.
I like his cherries. Bing cherries?
Yeah, but it also sounded kind of gross.
Oh.
You said you like the man's cherries,
Oh, sorry.
but that's okay. We're all for that.
Is that called a double entendre?
Sure. Andy Pettit. I thought this stopped us more. World Be Free for the Sixers. Tiki Barber is
I
23rd.
mentioned him.
Cam Neely.
Hockey player.
I
Bruins.
don't know how to say that man's name. Sleepy Floyd for the Golden State Warriors. That's another hockey player. Carlos Delgado is on here for the Mets.
Yeah.
Um,
Played with the Blue Jays, I believe.
Jeff Kent.
Yeah. 49ers. San Francisco Giants.
Eric Allen.
Defensive back.
Yeah, there you go. That's the list. Besides all the hockey players I skipped.
Well, I would personally vote for Roberto Clemente, but
Well, you kind
I
of got
only
to
have
be.
one vote in this.
Well, the bad thing is there's only two of us, so if I vote against you, we're tied. So we don't have much
I
of an
have
option.
seniority because I'm older. So my
What
vote,
the hell?
My vote
That's
would
bullshit.
go. Well, sorry.
I provide the venue.
Get older.
I make the fuck. I was just listening to Hamilton. What's he say? I make the arrangements, the seating, the venue. I don't remember what Thomas Jefferson says. We were listening to musicals on our trip. So
you do the editing, so I guess
It's
when
okay.
it comes down to it, it'll be whatever you put in there.
Well,
So.
that's not in the spirit of things. I'm gonna go with Roberto Clemente though.
Nice.
So that's okay. I would say Tim Duncan's a close second.
Yeah, Tim's not bad.
Timmy D.
Yeah. Oops.
I got a score update. The Red Sox took some catcher from Virginia, Kyle Teal.
Oh, what pick was that?
14th.
Oh, he got all the way to 14?
Yeah.
They were thinking the Royals were going to take him at 8, and he got to 14.
Widely considered the top catcher in his class.
Exactly. And the Royals took a catcher before him 6 picks earlier.
Hey, sometimes
You're welcome.
It doesn't matter if it's. You don't just take the best guy. If you like the guy, go get him.
The whole strategy, not to get into this too much, but they like to save money with their first-round pick. Pick a guy they know will sign a little bit cheaper, then use that cap money to draft higher-rated players in the second, third round and try to sign them.
No, yeah.
But if you go by the record last couple of years, that strategy hasn't been paying off.
Well, speaking of baseball,
and they keep doing it.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. Well, speaking of baseball, sorry, I thought you were done before I could transition on to the next thing. I figured I would talk about my adventures I had.
Before you do that, I want to ask you this question.
Uh-oh.
If I put 10 minutes on a clock.
Before you do that, no, I'm joking.
And put a giant pile of hot dogs in a bun on a platter in front of you, and I said, go, how many of those could you eat?
As many as Joey Chestnut.
This year or for the record?
Depends.
Joey ate 62 this year, and the record's actually 76. Yes.
Because he did in 2021, right?
Yes.
Is it 2021?
But I don't think he had to push himself too hard this year because he really doesn't have anybody that challenges him anymore. Since Kobayashi was taken out in handcuffs that last year when he showed up uninvited, Joey has nobody even close to him. And so I don't think Joey feels much pressure to eat as many as, being close to the record. He set the record at 76 several years ago, and now, 14 dogs less is just a walk in the park for him. They were saying the other day about how many calories that is, like 14,000 calories or something, and it's just incredible what it does to his body. But, a professional eater, so they plan for that. And
They need Matt Stoney to come back. That's what they need. Guy beat him in 2014. A little 110-pound kid. He has a YouTube channel. He makes a lot of eating videos.
Oh.
And he's fun to watch.
Nice.
But Badland Chugs was there. You didn't see the video of him down at 2 big-ass lemonades? You know who Eric Badlands Booker is?
I've seen
the
him.
Chug guy?
I've seen him. Well, they have they actually have a professional eating league.
Yeah, it's Major League Eating.
And, thank you. And they have all kinds of contests, matzo balls and hot dogs, and I can't even remember what else. They just had so many things that people compete in. It's just crazy. But, Nathan's famous hot dogs on July 4th is a staple anymore. And right now, Joey Chestnut's the man and carrying the banner for America on its birthday. Happy birthday, USA, by the way, since we weren't recording when you had your big day.
All right, well, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Sorry, I'm trying to fix that in the middle of the podcast. But
yeah. Yes, I sit here looking at Nathan as we record on Sunday, and he's wearing a hat that appears to be a banana with a baseball bat in its hand. And I'm anxious to hear the story behind this.
All right, well, I don't remember. I was going to say something about Joey Chestnut, but now I don't remember what it was. Oh, you see the photos of him walking around during the rain delay, like trying to hype people up, and they're like, "This is a man of legend." He just always seems he's always kind of an awkward fellow, Joey Chestnut.
Well, that's his sport, and that's the probably his name and how he makes his living. So
it is how he makes his living.
Yeah,
I've watched him eat 20 Big Macs in a video once. He has a YouTube channel too.
Nice.
You see the video of the Badlands Booker when he chugs the ocean?
No.
You never seen that? He puts a straw in the ocean, he pretends to sip it, and then the whole planet Earth's all the water's going away. It's hilarious.
Sounds pretty funny.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we went on a big baseball trip. We talked about it for like 15 hours last episode. And then, sure enough, my dad wants to go on a trip. My mom wants to go on a trip. And so we always go with my Aunt Rachel, my Aunt Angela, and my Uncle Andrew.
Shout out Andrew. I know he's a faithful listener, so I just want to say, hey, hello, Andrew.
They're probably on the way to the pool right now to go swimming, listen to this.
Nice.
So, yeah, cool. So we had a fun trip planned. We left Omaha, because we're in Omaha, if you didn't know that, at 6 in the morning. And we drove all the way to Indianapolis because at 7 p.m., the Savannah Bananas were playing the Party Animals. We got them on a third-rate website, like SeatGeek. Vivid Seats is the one of those third-party sites. We got them really early, very expensive tickets. But they were general admission. So we were kind of like, oh, okay. So, we'll be in this little area and we have to find a seat there. No problem. Well, I think most of the, even the seats like some of the seats area are general admission. Like anyone can go anywhere. Well, we're driving 9.5 hours to get all the way to Indianapolis so we can get there. We get there about 6, like an hour before. And when we go by, there's like a big line outside, and like all the seats inside the stadium are already full. Like it's ridiculously packed. Crazy. So we get our parking spot. We walk all the way there. You know, Andrew, my man, he's a little slow. So we got to walk, wait for them, make sure we don't get lost to get in there. Well, it's crazy. It's full. They have like a berm out like in the back. That's already packed. There's blankets everywhere, kids, people drinking. Big line in the... Because it's like a minor league ballpark. It's like a AAA ballpark. I don't know how many it fits. It fits like 12,000 people. Well, I think the attendance is like 15,000. So there's like 3,500 people in these berms and like just sitting around trying to fight for them, fend for ourselves to get there. So you wanted me to get a T-shirt because when we do a fantasy draft, you'll probably give one away, right? So I go there, wait. I wanted to get this banana hat that I'm wearing on my head too. I wanted something banana because I'm a big guy and it had to go up to my size.
Well, you are the top banana on the show.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, that's true. So they didn't go up to my size, but I got the hat. That took about 40 minutes just to get a T-shirt. And so I go, well, I'm going to get some food. Well, the food line, I had to walk. The one where, because Andrew went to go get food when I went to go get concessions. I waited 40 minutes. I looked. They're still, like, at the back. Like, they didn't move. They moved, like, a little bit. Because this poor minor league ballpark's probably never seen anything like this. Like, just getting slammed. Ridiculously slammed. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to walk around. But a lot of them just had, like, hot dogs. I wanted to find one that had chicken fingers because I like chicken fingers. I had to go all the way near home plate to find something that had chicken fingers. So I get in that line. I wait there for about 20 minutes. Like they're doing like the intros, explain the banana ball rules, which we could talk about later. But we didn't move it. I didn't move at all. Those 20 minutes just sitting there. So I go, fuck it. I'm just going back. So we find our seat. We're all the way in the back of this berm area. Well, my mom has a bad knee. And Andrew, my poor Down syndrome uncle, he's not really one to like stand up and walk. He wants to eat and like sit down and then just kind of take in the atmosphere and be with us. So he wasn't really one to like stand up and watch the game. So poor mom's sitting down on the ground on the berm in the back. I'm standing up. So I'm all the way in the back of the berm. The action's going on way down on the other side, all the way over there. There's stuff going on. It's kind of hard to see. Mom's sitting down, can't see nothing because everyone's standing up drinking, blah, blah, blah. Ange and Andrew are walking around. They're waiting in the concession line for like 5 hours. So I'm trying to watch the Bananas game. It's entertaining. They have a lot of music and stuff. But I would say if you ever want to go, get there like 16 hours early. Camp outside. Get yourself a prime seat inside the stadium. Because it'll be a lot more fun if you're near the back. Or right there. Because they're dancing. They're doing all this fun stuff. Which it was very entertaining. They had a lot of references and stuff. I understood. It was goofy. A lot of people shaking their butts. It was fun. But it was just hard to see all the way in the back.
Did they have like a replay board or a video board where you could kind of watch some of the stuff?
Okay, so they had like...
Or was that behind you based on where you were sitting?
No, so the video... We were in like left field. The video board's like in right field. But they don't have like a... It's like Banana Ball. They don't have like a full camera crew. So there's not like showing... They're not playing video on the board. It just says bananas versus party animals.
Oh,
so you can't
I thought maybe the minor league team would supply like, cameramen and stuff.
Well, I don't know. But how much... I mean, they don't really like film the game as it's going and put it up on the screen anyways, like during a minor league game. They just have the batter and stuff. So they didn't really do any of that. So it was hard to see. And I felt bad because Andrew wanted to sit down. He didn't want to stand up, so he couldn't see nothing. Ants had to be with Andrew the whole time because they're like butt on buds. And then Mom was sitting down because she didn't want to stand because of her knee. Mm-hmm. So then I was trying to see. So it was kind of a disappointing experience, I would say, for all of us. For the game-wise, I think it was fun. All the stupid rules were funny. They had a lot of funny jokes, a lot of dancing. Like they had all these weird like bits and stuff. I could go on and on probably about it, but yeah, it would just been better if it was like you get like an assigned seat, you sit down and then you watch. And I think it's cool they have all those general admission tickets so people can go see it, but it was a little too much. But then that's also just the banana ball craze right now. It's like a big thing. This is their first like tour. So all the tickets I was looking at tickets for other games, so like $400 just to get a general admission ticket. So they'll come to Omaha eventually one day. They'll have to. It's the home of the College World Series. It's a perfect spot for them to come.
Sure.
We're going to get tickets early, and maybe we'll wait for like their 6th World Tour when they're like not as big anymore. Because eventually it's going to calm down. It won't be as
when they start
crazy
to brown up a little bit, maybe turn a little bit black.
Yeah. When they're not as ripe.
Yes.
So that was the banana game. Very fun, like I said. My favorite part was when the guy was batting. and he was twerking when he got up to the bat. And then the catcher like threw a bunch of like dollar bills in the air, like like making it rain, like you at the strip club. And so then there was a pitch, so he took the pitch, and they're pretty quick about getting there and throwing it. So then while the guy was warming up, waiting for the next pitch, the umpire gets out and he starts grabbing all the ones that the guy was throwing because he wanted to get in. He was trying to like shove them in his pockets, and then he was trying to get back in time before the next pitch. It was kind of funny. Or like they had the first base coach, like the best dancing coach ever, and so he was like dancing crazy while everyone was batting. They had someone on like stilts pitch. There was a guy that pitched. He like got the ball back, threw it like real fast. They would all have, like I said, they all had these goofy things. They had this guy. He was like the donut hitter of the game. If he struck out, everyone got a free Dunkin' Donut. So every time he got up, everyone chanted donut. I'm trying to think of other things. This guy came out to eating it, like the Weird Al Yankovic version, and he came through the stands and he was like grabbing people's hot dogs or like their popcorn. He goes, "Coming to the plate, eating all your food." This guy. So that was kind of funny. They all had weird things. They had like some guy come up. They always had this dance they did. So one guy hit a home run, and then the whole team ran around the bases with him. So that was cool. There's just weird, goofy stuff. They play Christmas music. It's just fun. It's fun to go. But like I said, just get there early and get a good seat. They don't want to be back in the burn. But a lot of people just drink and enjoying themselves. So, I mean, a lot of people weren't there to watch the Bananas. They was just there to get drunk.
It was an event. So
it was like a party. It was a party environment, yeah. Not much for my family, we'll say. Or at least my mom's side of the family. Yeah, even though it wouldn't have been much for you either. I don't think you would have.
Not too bad.
So, but at least you're tall. So you probably...
Were there kids there?
There were kids there.
Oh, my nemesis.
Yeah, they are your nemesis. But they weren't like a big deal. But they play like Fortnite stuff. Like they play like a Fortnite dance. I got it.
Big deal.
They did some meme stuff. They played that funky music, White Boy.
Oh.
And they had like they had like an MC throughout the thing that would like talk. Mm-hmm. And so they play that funky music, White Boy, and he goes, "That's what I'm doing right now." I thought that was funny. It made me laugh. But yeah, do you know all the Banana Ball rules?
I do not.
You want me to go through the Banana Ball rules?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Then I won't do it.
I thought you were going to say, well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Nope.
Okay. You can give us a couple.
No, I don't want to.
Some of your favorites.
I can't remember all of them anyways. So, no bunting's allowed. If you bunt, you get kicked out. That's a good rule. If someone walks, they can keep going, but all the fielders have to touch the ball first. So they had like a good way. The catcher would he'd throw it to like the second baseman, would throw it to the shortstop, and they'd all collide in. Like, and then the first baseman, third baseman, then they collide with the outfield. They all had like a little system how they did it. It was pretty good. A few guys did like a backflip and caught the ball at the same time. It was pretty cool. Sometimes some of the stunts failed and that guy got on base. But like, it's hard to. It wasn't like scripted or anything because you can't really script baseball because the party animals beat the Bananas, so the Bananas lost. Oh. If it was the Harlem Globetrotters, they beat the Generals every time, except that one time they lost because they weren't paying attention to the clock and lost. But. So
what was the final score?
I don't know.
A lot.
7-4, I think, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Because another Banana Ball rule. So you score runs in the inning. So say if it's the third inning and the visiting team won the inning 2-1, they don't get 2 and 1 added to the score. They just get 1 point for winning the inning.
Oh, I see.
So you only get a run per inning, and then the ninth inning, all the runs count as normal. So like, if it's like 5-4, someone can make like. And then the visiting team would get like 8 runs and it'd be up 13-4.
Okay.
So.
Interesting.
That's how it works. And there's other rules I can't think of off the top of my head right now. If a fan catches a foul ball, it's an out. So like the party animals would hit a foul ball to be like, catch it if you can. Or the Banana hit a foul ball, they go, Blip, don't catch that ball. That's kind of funny. So yeah, Bananas game, very interesting experience.
How was the ballpark itself? Was it a nice park?
It was all right. I mean, there wasn't much. It was like, I went to the shop. I didn't get to stand, so I just stood there. It wasn't much time to explore. It was packed. So this is kind of like, shit, we need to get down. I wanted to be there and watch the game. I hope I could watch the game. Some lady got mad at me because I was like trying to say, excuse me, my family's over there. And she's like, well, this is my spot. I go, I don't care. I'm trying to go over there. Stupid middle-aged mom with her children. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Children can be your nemesis, too.
Yeah. My only suggestion is there's a lot of people in the burns. Maybe do some more things towards the back. Because I felt like a lot of it was on the field, which understandably, but it was hard for us to see or do anything. They do have a Banana Band. The Banana Band came through the berm, was playing marching music. And they had like a guy come out there and do like a dance segment. Like there'd be like a guy to come out. Like one banana player would come out and like hype up the berm. But that's about it. So
Everybody likes a good berm hype.
Yeah. Oh, you'd like this too. Right outside, I sent you a photo. Right outside the hotel was Lucas Oil Stadium. We were right next to it. We were like in the lot of Lucas Oil Stadium.
Cool.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I woke up, I look out the window, it's right there.
Ooh,
so that's pretty cool. But then we drove to
St. Louis.
Well, some city in Illinois the first day because we went to some water park because Andrew likes to swim. We were in the lazy river for like 3 hours. Then we went to a Steak and Shake.
Oh, nice.
Which is a must on every vacation. You got to go to a Steak and Shake.
House.
We didn't go to Waffle House. But I did say that. Like, we should go to Waffle House one morning. We never did. But all the hotels we had to make your own waffles.
Ooh.
So that was worth it. So, yeah, we got a Steak and Shake. Food was good. Andrew got a big smile when the shake came out. He started laughing because it was so big. He was like, "That's big," is what he said. I have a photo of him with a big smile on his face. So
Yeah, you should tweet that out on the Fast Intentions Podcast Twitter page, which, if you're listening, pause your episode right now and go to Twitter, open it up, find the Fast Intentions Podcast Twitter page, and give us a follow, please. We've been stuck at 7 people forever, and we like to tweet out some stuff, some photos and what have you, but 7 people isn't doing it. So help us out and get on that Twitter page.
yeah, my dad posting a lot of stuff on there. Help him out.
That Nathan approves of all of it.
Not all of it. It's mostly wording. I'm like, you could have phrased this better.
I forgot to say, unpause the podcast. Now
Well-
start listening again.
Well, they can't do that if they've already paused it.
I know, right?
So we're fucked.
Oh, shit.
We didn't think about that, damn it.
Time to go home.
No. Yeah, it's your phrasing. We just got to work on your phrasing. I'll get you down on it.
All right, brother.
You can just be like, "Hey, Nathan, I want to post this." I'll be like, "Okay, I got you."
Okay, brother.
The Hulkster.
Son.
Or Macho Man. Was
Oh, yeah. Step into Slim Jim.
Okay, yeah, and then we went to, we got to St. Louis. We found a movie theater. We saw the new Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny.
Don't tell me about it because I haven't seen it yet.
You want me to know? You want to know my opinion of it?
Not yet.
I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
It was all right.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't, like, good. I'll say
I'm
that.
going to start calling you Siskel.
I don't get it.
Siskel and Ebert. Used to review movies every Saturday night on TV.
No. That's an old people thing. I don't get it.
It's generational.
Okay, I don't get it.
That's where it came in. Because I know it because I'm older and you don't. So, because you're younger.
Okay, that was cringy. But
St. Louis.
I did see Elemental 2 this week. That was a good movie. So then we saw Indiana Jones. That Sunday we went to the game. They were playing the Yankees. The Cardinals were. We went to the St. Louis Hall of Fame. That was kind of cool. It wasn't that big, but they had some cool stuff there. And then the Yankees lost, so it was a great game.
5-1? 5-2?
5-2, I think.
I think I was trying to track the scores online.
Garrett Cole lost, which is great. Fuck Garrett Cole. That guy's a loser.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Garrett Cole's a loser. Brian Bayo's better. Yeah, but they won. Harrison Bader was there. I think he kept getting a standing ovation every time he came up. Well, he got a big applause every time he came up because he got traded from St. Louis. So that's cool. Stan almost missed a homer in the first inning. It was like a big line drive and it was just foul. And then he ended up grounding out, so it kind of made me giggle.
We saw him homer at Citi Field.
Yeah, but we don't care about Giancarlo Stanton because he's a loser.
Okay.
But I was also looking at my stats for like all ballparks I visit. The Yankees, that was the first time the Yankees ever lost. They were 3-0 when I saw them. Now they're 3-1, so that's good. Bringing them back down. So now I got Philadelphia and St. Louis off my map, so we're good.
Nice.
We just got to get. Oh, I'm getting the White Sox off later in September.
Are you?
Yeah, because Grace and Emma and I were going to go see the Packers and the Bears play, and then the White Sox play Monday.
Oh.
So, guess who they're playing?
The Royals?
Yes. Because every time I fucking go somewhere to go see a baseball game, the damn Royals are playing. All the time.
Well, the other team will win for sure then.
I know. It's always the Royals. Well, it's going to be in September, and both teams aren't that good, so who knows? It'll be a big up in the air. So.
That's true.
But speaking of baseball.
But you had a good time, right?
Yeah, it was fun.
Did you do all the driving?
Mom drove I did a whole driving on the way back. Mom did like an hour when we first left Omaha, and it was raining, and then she had to stop 45 minutes in so she can use the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to drive. I drove 3 hours because I didn't want to stop again. We found some breakfast place. Then she drove for another hour, I believe. Or another 2 hours, then she stopped, and I drove the rest.
You know what's the worst is when you share driving with somebody and you drive like faster and they don't drive as fast, and you keep thinking, you're losing all the time that I had gained us pick up the speed.
Well, it wasn't that big of a deal. Mom did good. She just gets nervous. I have to be like, Mom, you can pass that person. Okay. Can you change lanes? Yes, you can change lanes. You're good. But she doesn't like using cruise control.
So you're literally a backseat driver.
I was in the front seat.
Well, technically.
But she needed help.
Oh, okay.
So I got her. But, well, she'll probably get offended by I said that, but she did good. I use cruise control, though, so it's pretty easy because it's like I set it at 77. Speed limit 70, I go 77. And then it tracks how close you are, so as soon as you start to slow down, you go, okay, I can pass this guy. And then all you do is go over. But there's a shit ton of construction on the interstate. Jesus. Every, 20 minutes, construction up ahead. I'm like, oh, my God.
Well, it's because they get the appropriations, and if they don't use them by a certain time, they lose them. So.
Well, I know. Well, in Illinois was terrible. Once we got to Indiana, though, we passed 12 spots that said road work ahead, and then there was no road work. It would be like road work for the next 4 miles. It was nothing. They'd be like, all right, road work's over. I go, oh, man, Indiana's great. They ain't doing nothing around here. Mom goes, they probably just keep those up all year because they always got to fix that. I go, you're probably right. So that was nice. But, yeah, Illinois was really bad with the construction. But, yeah, that was baseball trip number 2. After we did baseball trip number 1. Well, we had a lot of fun. We met a lot of cool friends, right, Dad?
We did. We met a lot of nice people, which I mentioned many of them last podcast.
You mentioned all of them last podcast.
Much to your chagrin.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't fine. It was just long-winded, and you were just going. You were losing your voice. You're like, oh, and this person. I was like, all right, Dad. Take some water. Calm down. It's okay. They all don't need a shout-out. Shout-out to all those people, though. But, yeah, we met a few friends. 2 in particular that was very interesting. Right?
Yeah, Wayne's World and Glen Turner Jr.
Yeah, I didn't think about him being a junior, but that is what his Facebook says.
It does.
Yeah. See, it won't stop blinking, so I don't know what's going on with it. Our Fast Attention's logo thing is fucked up. So our live logo, but yeah.
Yeah, they were nice enough to sit down and do an interview with us, which we'll play later for you.
No, we're gonna play it right now. This is what it's going.
Right now. Well, yeah. This is later.
Well, what do you mean later? We're going to insert it right now into the podcast.
Well, that's later.
It's not.
If I wait 2 seconds, that's later.
Okay, but it's not that later. Well, why berate him for a second? Have fun listening to this interview we did.
We are now happy to be joined by Glen Turner Jr. and Wayne McCombs, a couple of friends we met on the bus trip recently with the Buckley Tours. How are you guys?
Doing well. Glad to be here, Todd.
Well, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. I think I want to start with just how you guys met and how long you've known each other.
Well, we met at a baseball park. You wouldn't believe that, but we met at that time, the Tulsa Oilers were the AAA farm club of the St. Louis Cardinals. This was in 1974, and we've been pals ever since.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and the general manager of the team, John Wallenstein, told me, he came down to my box seats and he said, there's a guy I want you to meet because I think you guys will get along. And here we are, how many years later, man, going everywhere together.
Yep, had a good time.
So was it just you two, or did you have like brothers or friends you hung out with also, or was it just you two the whole time?
Oh, we added friends that we went along. The clubhouse guy down in Texas, we added him. Well, I knew him before Wayne. I knew him in 1973.
Oh, wow.
So I actually knew him a year before I knew Wayne.
He was what?
12 years old.
12 years old when we met him.
And now he's 59.
Well,
so
have you always had the? Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's great to have friendships that long.
Yeah.
Did you guys play all kinds of sports, or was it always baseball?
Go ahead, Wayne.
Well, we did play some softball, fast pitch and slow pitch softball together.
That was me.
Not too much. Glenn, I was not married, and Glenn was married and had 2 children, I think, when I'm
3.
Well, eventually he had 3.
Oh, Leslie came later.
Yeah. So he was busy with
2 kids.
2 kids and a wife and a full-time job, and I was single and did other things sometimes.
And my third child come along in 76. Yeah. You were there for that one.
That's right. Right. But I try to accidentally come over when they were having dinner so I could get a meal.
He did, too. He did that a lot, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, tell them about the World Series we were watching. You woke the kids up screaming.
Oh, well, that was actually both of us, Yankee fans from childhood. And this was in October of 1976 when the Yankees finally were in a playoff to make the World Series. And, of course, they were playing Kansas City in 1976.
Nice.
See that?
That's
See
good.
that, man?
That's good.
What's the drink?
Diet Dr. Pepper. That's the only thing I drink, man. Your dad bought me one. It's a Quick Trip. Or the 7-Eleven in Baltimore, right?
That's right. And a couple of donuts.
Yeah.
That's one of the only good diet drinks. Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Real nice, sketchy place, if I remember correctly.
See, right there? Right there it says Fast Intentions.
Well,
The koozie.
I got one of those.
If they call you or write you, can you send them one of these through the mail?
I will. I'll
Okay,
I'll
guys,
pay the
get your
postage
ticket.
too.
That's your chance. Just message these guys and tell them you want a koozie.
All right.
You got to get one of these fancy LEDs.
Thanks
too.
for stumping for us.
You bet.
We still got
Anytime.
plenty to give out, though.
So you guys are both Yankees fans. Is that part of the reason
Yes.
you guys got along so well? Because you both like
Yep.
the Yankees?
We both.
He was born on Roger Maris's birthday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Roger Maris and I share a birthday.
awesome.
So anyway, that championship game, the final game with the Royals, Chris Chambliss led off the ninth inning with a home run.
Yes.
I was over at, sorry.
That's
I
all
was
right.
over at I was over at Glenn's house. All his children had gone to bed. And if you've ever had more than one child in your house trying to go to bed at the same time, you know what an ordeal that is.
Leslie was like 2 months old when he woke them all up.
I was jumping up down in his living room, woke up all the kids. They started yelling. And then Dee, his wife, said, it's time to go home.
She kicked him out.
She kicked me out.
Well, I'll tell you this. Your kids would have slept soundly with me because I was
Yeah.
moping around, and
I understand.
I wasn't saying very much at all.
Yeah, you and Freddie Patek were crying.
Yes.
Because Freddie was crying on the bench.
Yes, he was.
But those Royal teams of 75 to 81 were excellent teams. And it just seems like the Yankees had their number in the
Playoffs,
in those games. Yeah, they were good.
yeah.
Yep.
It always went down to the final inning or two. So, yeah, definitely.
We loved all those guys. Amos Otis and Dennis Leonard, the whole team, Cookie
Yeah.
Rojas,
Buck Martinez.
John
Oh, yeah.
Mayberry at first base.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And
There's a guy named Brett that came up in 75.
Never heard of him.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't think so.
see,
Well, you
We-
guys got good when we gave you Lou Piniella. That's what happened.
We appreciate that.
that's right. Well, hey, Lindy McDaniel did do well for you the 2 years he was there. But again, Pinella did more.
Just 2 years.
Hey,
Yeah.
but see, we knew all those guys because the
From-
AAA
from
Farm
Oklahoma.
Club, the AAA Farm Club for the Royals were in Omaha, and they were in the same league with the Tulsa Oilers. So I remember seeing Brett and those guys in Tulsa and saying, "Wow, these guys are going to be great."
And Lindy McDaniel is from Oklahoma, too.
Oh, okay.
Hollis, Oklahoma. He just passed away about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, we've been buddies since then, collected things together, and just enjoyed each other's company and our love for sports and memorabilia.
Yeah. So you guys said you go on a bunch of trips together. What was your first trip? Do you remember?
Was it Kansas City or St. Louis?
We went to the Hall of Fame in 84. We went to
83.
St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
No, Kansas City went in 83 and sent by George Brett by his locker.
Right. We had a friend that was on the team, and
Joe Simpson.
and we got to get a tour of the locker room. And
We got to see his donut signed by all his girlfriends.
yeah, remember George Brett's donut?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we saw it.
We got to see
We saw
we saw the pine tar bat too.
That's right.
Well, Joe
Yep.
Joe Simpson only played with the Royals maybe 2 years. He actually played for
Yeah.
quite a few teams, didn't he? If I remember
Year and a half,
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he's still announcing for who? Seattle.
I think it's Seattle. Yeah. Good guy.
He played at OU.
Yeah.
Now,
He was out for Oklahoma.
Oh, sorry.
University.
now when I want to come up to the Buckley trip. When Nathan and I picked this trip, we had three things we wanted. We wanted to be able to see the Red Sox, the Royals, and we wanted to be able to go to Cooperstown. Why did you guys decide to pick this trip?
Because we got to see the Yankees and got to go to Cooperstown.
We got to see the Yankees beat the Red Sox.
Hey,
at Yankee Stadium.
hey! We don't got to start throwing shots.
And we got
here.
to see the Red Sox get beat in Fenway Park.
Well, this is a common thing when
And
you're a Red Sox fan. You go see.
we
the
got
Reds.
to see Kansas City get beat by Baltimore, didn't we?
Yeah, but we didn't like that. We were pulling for
We were for
Kansas
Kansas
City.
City, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I kind of expected that
Yeah,
performance, but
yeah, man, this was a shitty trip. What
yeah,
the
I know for
fuck?
you and me. So that was
you guys,
that was
we
your only
loved it.
criteria, just seeing the Yankees?
No. That was our 39th anniversary going to Cooperstown. We first went there in 1984.
83.
84. We saw Drysdale.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Killebrew,
It was 84.
Pee Wee Reese,
Yeah,
Rick
84.
Farrell. Who was the fifth one? Don Drysdale.
Right.
We saw those guys get inducted.
And we went there a week ahead of time, and
We spent a week there.
and it was great. We
held Babe Ruth's insurance policy that he signed in our hands.
Oh,
we went
wow.
we went into the library, and the person there, I said, maybe, is it allowable to go through the files? Sure, go ahead.
We could have stole Gehrig's stuff, and we didn't.
Oh,
we
it's
didn't steal
amazing
anything.
what we found. We found a letter from Boston to Cincinnati in Babe Ruth's file saying, no, we don't want to trade for pitcher Ruth at this time.
Cincinnati had a chance to get Ruth before Boston.
Mm-hmm.
What year was
Or
that?
before the Yankees.
I believe it was
19?
18. Was it 19 or
18 or 19.
Yeah. And we
Wow.
pulled this letter out saying, thanks for your inquiry about pitcher Ruth. However, at this time,
Same way with Yogi Berra. Bill Terry was the general manager of the Giants, and he tried to buy Yogi from the Yankees for $50,000, and they wouldn't sell him.
You said,
So that's why Yogi was a Yankee.
you said Boston.
And because-
That letter Boston declined.
yeah, Boston declined Cincinnati's offer for Ruth.
Oh, what's his face wasn't broke yet.
What was the name of that play he was trying to finance? Night Nanette or something like that?
Oh, no.
no, Nanette.
Harry Frazee.
Yeah.
The guy's Harry Frazee.
No, Nanette.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
yeah.
yeah.
And the guy was Harry Frazee that owned the team.
Yeah.
What a
Well,
loser.
when we were in Baltimore, we were across the street from where Babe Ruth's bar was. And then we walked to where he was born, went in his
I
museum.
did not go in to see if there was any memorabilia there.
I did not go in the strip club because Jay said, don't go in there, you get killed.
Well, basically, we need to tell the people in 1915, when Ruth was pitching for the Red Sox, they won the World Series. He took his money, which was what, $2,800, $2,900, and bought a bar for his father to own and operate.
Yeah.
Oh,
That building is still there today. It was across the street from our
It
hotel,
was that strip club over
and
there.
it's now they call it a show bar.
Show bar, but it's
Yeah.
a strip club. And Jay Buckley
Buckley.
said, do not go in there because you're liable not to come back out.
But we
So we did not.
well,
we did not.
I did see a place up the street called the Hippodrome. They must have really big dancers there.
Maybe that's part of the zoo.
Oh, maybe.
probably-
There goes my
Yeah.
headphones.
But
Yeah.
did you guys go to the Babe Ruth Museum? We did.
Well, we walked after the game. We walked over there to see it, but that's the day we went up to D.C., so we didn't get a chance
That
to
was
see it.
Yeah. Well, we were at the Smokeout the day before in Washington.
Yeah,
Then we got to go to the Phillies game, which was smoked out the night before, the first smokeout ever.
yeah.
Now, interesting thing on that. Well, you were in on the tail end of that. One thing I liked about Jay Buckley, he's a fan and he understands. Like, remember, we'd get the game before the gates opened.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that was, we want to get in there as quickly as we can. So
Right.
remember, we were disappointed when we couldn't go into the Phillies game because of this smokeout. And he goes, well, hey, you guys want to go look around the park? How about come back here in 45 minutes? Well, we were ecstatic. We got to at least walk around the park. We did not know we were going to get to come back the next day.
I got a
Well,
question.
hold on. I got a quick anecdote for you. Hold on a sec. I got up and actually walked up to the front of the bus and asked Jay if we could get out and walk around before we left.
Thank you
So we
very
need
much.
to tell you thank you. All right.
Okay.
Well, because I didn't know if we'd ever get back there,
Right.
So I
Right.
thought at least I want to see the stadium and, what have you.
In
So,
Washington?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, the first night.
Well, we did in Washington. Remember, his friend Bob Carpenter, is the color analyst of the Washington Nationals, came out and signed autographs for everybody
Yeah, that was awesome.
and answered questions.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, who did the Boston play, Colorado or Kansas City?
Boston.
They played the Rockies.
Okay, I even got one of the pitchers' autographs there in Boston.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember his name. He's a relief pitcher,
For Boston or for Colorado?
Colorado.
I don't
Who would
know if I
won
know
the
that
Boston Red
bullpen.
Sox autograph?
Oh, well, we wouldn't care about that here. So,
Yeah.
but hey, Glenn, I wanted to ask you something.
Yeah.
We got to know you guys real well because you sat behind us on the bus. So
That was meant to be, sir.
yeah,
And we annoyed you guys.
it's something fierce. But the most poignant moment of the whole trip for me was.
Oh, somebody's calling me.
All
Let me
right,
see his
well,
phone.
put your phone
Here
on
comes
silence.
Here comes edit time.
Okay,
we're going to stick
that's on
with it.
silence.
We're going to stick with it.
Yeah,
All
I put him.
We're leaving
put him
that in.
off.
We're leaving it in.
We're leaving in. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I burned him off. I didn't answer it.
Glenn, one of the most poignant moments of the whole trip for me was when we got to Cooperstown and,
Yes, sir.
and we started to get off the bus. And when I turned around, I could see you were visibly, crying.
I was
And
crying.
can you explain that and why you were so emotional?
Well, we were there 39 years before, and I was seeing everything as it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting emotional right now.
Yeah,
but
I can tell. That's cool. But
Is really, we just had a great, the
it was
first
so
time.
nostalgic.
Yeah. The first time we were there, we had a great time.
It was deja vu all over again.
Right. So we were excited about it.
We walked down the street in 84 and said hi to Chubb Feeney. We said hi to George Kell. We went in the Oneonta Hotel or whatever's called.
Yeah.
And we sat there and talked to Burley Grimes. We talked to Roy Campanella. We talked to Joe Sewell. We talked to
Yeah. We
Pee
actually,
Wee Reese. We talked to Cool Papa Bell. We talked to
Cool
Happy
Papa Bell was
Cooper.
there. That's a
Yeah.
name from the Negro
Buck
Leagues.
Leonard.
Yeah.
Bill Terry, the guy that tried to buy Yogi Berra from the Yankees. Bill Terry was there. He's the last National Leaguer to hit 400.
anyway, these guys were sitting there at a table, and we thought, well, if we're going to get thrown out, we might as well be having fun. So we sat down there and talked to them.
Hey, we were sitting on the back porch of the hotel after we ate dinner by Roy Campanella and Sewell and Rick Farrell. And Early Wynn was walking by, and there was a guy that hollered at him and said, "Hey, Early, I was at your game when you won your 300th game." You know what he said to him?
What?
Tell him, Wayne.
He said, "How do I know that?"
And he said he was there too.
Yeah, he said, "Well, I was there too."
He's a real smart ass.
He was not very friendly, and you'd think if the guy got in the Otesaga Hotel, he was more than just a fan. But
Yeah,
somehow we got in there,
Yeah.
and
we sneaked in.
yeah,
Well,
Yep.
I remember
We
hearing a
sneaked
few
in.
stories about you guys sneaking into places or
We sneaked in and then bought
Most-
tickets to the dinner.
most of them are
So when
true.
we went to the door, when we had dinner tickets, they let us back in to go to dinner.
Yep, it was a great time.
You couldn't do that nowadays. There's too much security.
was it the hall like you remembered or was it different or bigger?
Exactly.
Or?
Well, it's much
It's
bigger.
much bigger now.
Much
Yeah,
bigger.
They've added on.
Yeah.
All that back part. We stayed. Our room was above the dime store next door, at the very back. We was the closest you could get to the podium, where they do the inductions now.
Back then. Now they're 5 or 6 blocks down the street.
We were 50 feet or 100 feet.
About
from the-
100 feet from the Hall of Fame.
We were up on the second floor looking down at the podium.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, we made friends with one of the, I don't know if you call him an usher, or it's kind of usher security guard at the Hall of Fame at that time. And we actually found him again. He's retired now, living in another city. And we actually made contact with him, and he was happy that we remembered him. He was so friendly to us and kind.
Tell him about his son now runs a
Oh,
store there on
yeah.
Main Street.
The guy's name was Don Howard, and his son runs a store there on Main Street in Cooperstown. We got to visit with him when we were there. So
And the same ice cream shop that we ate at every night back in '84 is still there.
yeah,
And
they had little sandwiches and stuff. It was really nice.
they changed a lot of the displays, though. I wanted to see the display of the 1915 World Series ball where George Foster, my friend, when I was a kid, signed it with Babe Ruth on it. And they said it was no longer up, that it was stored away.
Oh.
You said the answer to every trivia question, George Foster.
Well, we expected a George Foster reference this pod.
He,
So
Now tell him who George Foster was and how you got in contact with him.
okay, he pitched from 1913 to 17 with the Boston Red Sox. My uncle and my aunt lived in Bocoshe, Oklahoma, 14 miles from Poto, where I was raised. When I was 16 years old, we went over to visit them, and my Uncle Tom said, "Hey, you ever heard of a pitcher named George Foster? Played for the Red Sox?" And I said, "Sure." They said, "Would you like to meet him?" "How can I do that?" He said, "I can take you to his house." So we jumped in his car and went over there. And George told me stories. You know what Babe Ruth did the first time he showed up in Boston in 1915? He went straight to the Cadillac dealer, bought a convertible Cadillac, and drove through the streets of Baltimore or Boston. They thought he was going to kill himself. And Tris Speaker, you know, they call him the Bald Eagle. George said that the reason was because a player would go up and jerk Tris Speaker's hat off his head and show his bald head. Speaker would get so mad that he would throw a bat and try to kill the player.
Oh, wow.
And Tris Speaker, you know what his favorite game was?
No.
He shot dice
Oh, okay.
for money. George didn't do it, though. George pitched the first no-hitter there, June 21st, 1916. He beat the Yankees 2-0. You know what?
At Fenway Park.
At Fenway Park. The first no-hitter at Fenway Park.
Wow.
You know what the Red Sox gave him? $100 bonus. And you know, he gave all of the players a pocket knife.
Oh.
He said that. He said that on the bus.
Did he mention that on bus?
Did I
Okay.
remember all those facts? No, but I remember him talking.
Well,
Yeah.
Glenn was constantly pulling himself up to our seats and saying, "Todd, Nate, look at this. Look at this. Have you seen
Hey,
this?"
Todd, let me
So-
tell you this. Hey, Todd, you know this?
That's
Hey,
exactly
Todd,
how it was. Yeah.
Hey, Nate,
And now you do. See?
I'm
Yeah.
still doing it.
I
You
know.
do. Look
Right?
how much intelligence you've learned.
Okay.
I know.
Who was the first pitcher to pitch before a president in a World Series game?
Say George Foster.
Say George Foster.
George Foster.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Second game of the
Nathan
1960
killing it.
World Series.
See, I know my baseball history.
You know your stuff, man. He beat the Phillies 2-1. He got 3 hits. The Phillies got 3 hits.
Mm.
He drove in the winning run in the bottom of the ninth to win the game 2-1 before Woodrow Wilson. And the next year, when they showed up in Washington, George got a note from Woodrow Wilson to come to the White House. And George went over there in the Oval Office and talked baseball with Woodrow Wilson for about 45 minutes, he said. He didn't talk anything. He didn't want to talk any politics, nothing, just talk baseball. So George talked baseball with him.
That's cool.
So at that, and also one other thing, and I'll stop saying, but what's the answer? Babe Ruth, they interviewed him about 1934. They asked him who was the best fielding pitcher he ever encountered in his whole career.
George Foster.
That's
That's
right.
correct.
Hey, good job.
You're on top of things, guys. You're on top of things. Yay.
Hey, Wayne,
Okay.
let me ask
Yeah.
you, when you got to the hall, was there something in particular you were looking forward to seeing or something you remember from your first trip that you wanted to see again? Or
I just wanted to go to the hall where they have all the plaques on the wall. We spent over an hour
Just taking pictures.
with the plaques and stuff.
Hey, Todd, I got to go to the restroom. I'll be back.
all right, well,
Live podcast.
you don't need
right
to
here.
share that information. You could just say I need to take a break. But
I'm taking a break.
He's
All right.
taking a break.
This isn't getting
well, that's
cut
cool.
out either.
But yeah, Wayne, I think one of the coolest things I saw was just the Babe Ruth jersey. You know, they had on display in that
Yeah.
glass case along with his hat.
Yeah,
You know, it's just
it's amazing. All that stuff is there.
Yes.
It's just it's really, if you're a baseball fan at all, it's just I don't know, you get a great feeling of seeing that history that what these guys accomplished, and you see the uniforms and all that.
Yeah.
It's just something that it's a special feeling. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, and it's amazing, like the older stuff, you know, the stuff from the early days of baseball. It's just amazing to me that somebody had the foresight to hold on to that stuff.
Well, to do that,
Yeah, yeah.
well, baseball, of course, it's the sport that has the most history because it's obviously been around longer, and they started collecting things really before the 30s, and then they decided to have that Hall of Fame, which is an unbelievable place.
Yeah.
And what gets me, Major League Baseball has nothing to do with the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
No money, know anything. And it's just, that's amazing to me that they don't, but they seem to be doing well.
Yeah, but I think that gives it some of the nostalgia too. I'm sure if baseball had their hand in it, there'd be some kind of guidelines or stuff they would have to follow. And
yeah, well, and they probably want to move it to some place where they could get more traffic.
Yeah,
and it's perfect where it is in that little nostalgic town.
Exactly.
Where you're not overrun. You're not overrun by cars, and there's not a convenience store or some sort of box store 2 feet from the Hall of Fame. I thought it was funny with you being a postman, and right across the street from the Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame post office.
Yeah, that's the first place I went.
So. Yeah.
I went with you, Todd.
You
we
did.
had our pictures made on the steps.
You did. So, we might have to share that on our Twitter page so people can see it. So,
but this was my fourth attempt to go on this Buckley bus tour.
Our fourth attempt.
Well, I tried, and I thought, well, for years and years I've been reading about it, and I wanted to go, and so my boys had been giving me Christmas and Father's Day and birthday gifts. A little bit along, says, hey, here's your money for your trip, Dad. Here's your money for your trip. So we were going to go in 2020, and I was all set, paid my $100, and bingo, COVID hit. Boy, that was terrible. So, okay.
Hey, Todd.
We'll go the next year.
Oh, yeah.
21. Well, that's when Major League Baseball wasn't allowing any fans in the stands. Now, how that was going to cure COVID, I don't know, but we didn't get to go then. Then the next year, 22, I was in a huge project at work.
I didn't want to go because I was afraid of catching COVID up there in New York.
So I had a grant that I needed to work on at I worked at the J.M. Davis Arms and Historical Museum, and we needed a new lighting. System. We were still on, fluorescent lighting. And so I got the grant, began to work on that. And if anybody's ever worked on a grant, it is hard. Paperwork out the ears. And so I couldn't leave because I was in the middle of getting that all secure. So I didn't go last year. So this year we went and had a great time. And see, if we'd have gone any other year, we wouldn't have got to meet you two guys.
It got it right there.
It's funny how it works out. So yeah, that's awesome.
Touch got it.
Hold on.
Touch got it.
Hold on, my
Touch got it so we can see the whole there. See, now we can see their whole screen.
My technical advisor is giving me
now we can see the whole thing. We could just see you, a little bit of you on the left and a little bit of Nate on the right.
Well,
now we got it.
We apologize now. So
yeah, now the views
worse. That's us. I didn't take
views worse.
Well, anyway. Since you mentioned the museum, I'll just really quickly congratulate you. I know you just retired, and big milestone for you. So congratulations from us.
Thank you. June 30 is when I retired, and so I've been retired 10 days.
Tell them when your party was.
My party was June 27th.
And I was there.
He was there. Glenn was there.
I saw it on Facebook. I wish we would have known. We might have called you or sent you a little message or something. But
Lieutenant Governor was there. He's personal close friends with him.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, here's some of the things I've learned in the last 10 days.
Okay.
Number one, you don't have to go to bed when the 10 o'clock news is over. Number two, I don't have to set my alarm anymore unless I want to. Wagon Train comes on at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4?
Well, I don't know about 4, but I like Wagon Train. And
the podcast come on at 6.
And then sometimes I have to think, is it Tuesday or is it Wednesday? That's a item that pops up from day to day. What day is it? So those are some of the nice things I've learned.
And I've been doing that for almost 5 years now on my own.
Well, I will point out Wayne didn't get close to 10. He only mentioned about 4 or 5 things. So.
Well, that's 4. I didn't know that.
That's the 4 big ones.
Well, let me see if I can come up with some more.
He can go to the bathroom anytime he wants to.
Oh, okay. Here's one.
Okay.
If I get hungry at 10:30, I can have lunch now, and I can take as long as I want. Okay.
Hey, when I go over to the museum to eat with him, he took as long as he wanted to anyway.
Well, that's because he's the big cheese.
That's right.
He knows the lieutenant governor.
Anything you want to ask him?
He knows the lieutenant governor. No,
And
not
my wife,
And
my wife knows the governor because she was in the bunker with it doing the storm.
We had a storm here on, when was it?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
June 26th, I think.
Yeah.
June 26th. No, 25th. A windstorm. We had winds over 100 miles an hour, and there was no tornado with it.
500 trees were blown down that the city of Tulsa had to clear out of streets.
Well, actually,
And my wife was she's basically the coordinator of the cleanup. She's got 47 acres designated for people to dump trash. Not trash, but limbs and, stuff for them. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey,
What's your question?
oh, sorry. Can you guys remember who your first autograph was from?
Warren Spahn.
Oh, wow.
December 16th, 1960.
Oh, wow. How about you, Wayne?
My first one was in June of 1969. It was Bobby Mercer.
Okay.
Our family had gone up to Kansas City, and my uncle at that time worked for Kansas City Diesel, so he had box seats. So we were right next to the Yankee dugout, and I had a program, and he was warming up. And I said, Mr. Mercer, do you have time to sign this? He says, okay. Put his glove under his arm and came over and signed it. And my father said, hey, we're from Oklahoma. So then he started talking to us more than just signing the autograph, because Mercer was from Oklahoma City. So he was my first one.
And
Well, that's awesome.
Warren Spahn, my dad came home from work and said, there's a pitcher named Warren Spahn giving us a little talk at the church in Heavener, Oklahoma. Did I want to go? I said, yeah, Dad. I've got a 59 Topps baseball card of it. So we went. And when I asked Warren to sign it, or Mr. Spahn, I said, I want it signed in pencil. And Warren said, you sure you don't want to sign it in ballpoint? Because ballpoint looked better. And you got to remember, I was about 11 or 12 years old. And I said, no, I want it in pencil. He said, okay, son. I still got that card that was signed in pencil.
How come you wanted it signed in pencil?
I thought that would be the best way to get cards signed. That's the only one I have signed in pencil.
Well, I know I got a magazine signed by ex-Husker coach Tom Osborne. And then while I was holding it, my thumb kind of got on it, and I kind of smeared it a little bit. So, I mean, yeah, pencil could be a good way to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, we've been collecting ever since. I thought I like to get Hall of Fame players on Hall of Fame plaques.
Oh,
And here's a couple of my favorites.
awesome.
Can you see it good enough?
yeah, that's good.
Stan Musial.
Dan Musial.
Stan the
Another one I
Man.
like. Yep.
Yeah. Hank Aaron.
Here's Hank.
That's awesome.
So that's one of the things I like to do.
Hmm.
So
I like to eat donuts, Todd.
Yeah. I know I bought them for you. Do you guys have a favorite player of all time, Yankees or no?
Yogi
or
Berra.
Yogi Berra?
when my first son was born, Glenn came over and gave me a 1959 baseball card of Yogi Berra to give to him. So he started my son's collection.
That was my first card, a 59 Yogi Berra, which I still have.
Yeah.
My second card was a 59 Mantle, which I still have. Mantle's my second favorite player. My third is Babe Ruth, and fourth is Lou Gehrig, and fifth is George Foster. Even though he's a Red Sox, he couldn't help that.
Yeah, I think just what Lou Gehrig went through touched a lot of people. You know, he was a great player, and just to have it go, end that quickly, and just kind of just see his.
Well, Catfish Hunter had the same disease.
Yeah,
he pitched for.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Lou Gehrig fan, even though I'm not much of a Yankee fan. But yeah, his story is close.
I'll have to come back on sometime and bring Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig's autographs and show them.
Okay.
Yeah, who is your favorite player, by the way? Sorry, I'm not interviewing you.
Well, actually, my favorite Royals player, and I think I told you guys, was Danny Tartabull. Oh, yeah. But he only played for the Royals a couple years because I think he's mostly known as playing for Seattle.
Yankees.
And the Yankees, because he was on an episode of Seinfeld with George driving around in the car.
Yeah.
So, but I loved him. He was just a big home run hitter and a big muscly guy. I don't know. Something about him. I just thought he was really pretty cool. I mean, everybody will say George Brett, of course, but yeah.
He had a nice looking wife. I saw her one time.
George Brett or Danny Tartabull?
Brett wasn't married, Tartable.
Oh, okay.
Brett always had a girlfriend with him.
Yeah. Well, I remember watching a Miss America contest, and they were interviewing this one lady, and she goes, well, my boyfriend plays baseball. And they said, well, will we know him? She goes, I don't know. And they said, what's his name? They said, George Brett. So
I met a Playboy centerfold that was dating a right fielder in 2001 with the Royals. I won't mention his name, but he didn't like to sign autographs. And after the game, we were talking to her, making friends with her, me and Robert Taylor. We were talking to her. We said, we'd like to get a card signed by your boyfriend. She said, I'll get it for you. So when he came out, he came over. She said, sign these cards for these two boys. And he signed them. And boys, we were 50 or 60 years old, you know. And he signed it anyway. And our two autographs were the only ones that he signed.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm not going to name the player.
I could probably guess in a couple guesses, but I won't. So
he was the left field, 2001.
Yeah. Yeah, we speaking of a player's wife, Nathan and I went up to Green Bay a couple years ago to see the Packers at Lambeau, and we stopped at the Field of Dreams. Thank you. Have you guys been to the Field of Dreams? Have you been up to Dyersville?
I have a friend that has.
Yeah, I have not.
Oh.
I don't want to go because the tickets are so expensive.
Oh. Well,
to the ball game, the least price ticket is $2,000.
Yeah, we just went up to see the movie site. I had gone with my ex-wife years ago, Nathan's mom, but it just happened to coincide with the day they had the press conference where Frank Thomas's group had bought the rights to the farm.
Right.
And so we actually met the original owners of the farm, him and his wife, and he was telling us how
he
was
born there. You have your picture
there.
made with him?
Yeah, I posted on our Twitter page here a while back.
Oh, great.
But when we were in the gift shop, we ran into this tall, beautiful blonde lady and big rings, and it turned out it was Frank Thomas's wife. So,
was the ring through her nose or on her finger?
It was on her finger. So,
okay.
But she was real nice, and she had her kids with her, and they kept asking for this and that. And there was a shirt there about something about a baseball mom or something. I said, well, maybe this is the shirt you need to buy. So
you're trying to pick up Frank Thomas's wife.
Yeah, definitely. So,
hey.
So do you guys have anything left on your baseball bucket list that you want to do or haven't done yet? And
I'd like to go to a World Series game at Yankee Stadium, but I think it's going to be a couple more years.
I just want to go this fall. I predicted before the season started that the Rangers are going to win the World Series, so I want to go to the World Series in Texas, in Arlington. Wayne's saying no. I'll bet him $1 if he's up for it. You want to bet $1, Wayne?
I don't remember you saying that before the season started.
Well, I don't care.
When they started, when they
let's
started
bet $1 right now.
on them going to the World Series. All right.
No, yeah, going.
Okay, I'll bet you $1.
Do we have
Okay, you're not saying win. You're saying just going, whether they win early.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got it.
Do we have Texas making the playoffs?
Right.
What's that?
I hope they do.
Did we have Texas making the playoffs?
I don't think so.
I didn't.
I didn't.
I had
either.
them in the race, but not.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who I picked anymore. The Cardinals
Way to
was
go,
a crappy
Todd.
pick.
Sorry.
I mean, Stephanie. I mean, Nathan.
Stephanie.
Boy, he's.
Well, girl.
Yeah, we know.
Call me Nick again.
Let me ask you this. Who's the most famous person in your contacts on your phone? Who's the most famous person you could pick up your phone and call right now?
You mean other than Glenn?
Wayne McCombs.
Okay.
Let's see.
How about Larry Burchard or Bob Sherwood?
That's a pretty good one.
How about Amos Otis?
That's a good one.
That's a good one, too.
I've got the Lieutenant Governor of Oklahoma.
That's pretty good.
I got Governor Stitz.
Are you just talking baseball players?
Well, yeah.
I
I'd
heard
say
the Lieutenant
so.
Governor's
Well,
good at
baseball. Somebody in
retirement parties.
baseball.
Well, hate to say this, but I had George Frazier, the man that just passed a couple of weeks ago.
They went to his wife.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I have Bucky Dents and Chris Chambliss.
That's pretty good big names.
Bucky Dent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got Wayne McCombs.
Sorry.
I wasn't
Nathan,
alive
sorry.
then. It's okay.
That's all right. My sister used to have Bucky Dent's poster on in her room. So
Yeah.
Hey, Nathaniel, I can't think of a Red Sox player important enough to have in my phone.
Yeah.
Hello, Nathan.
I heard you.
So, would you guys ever be inclined to try to do another Buckley trip?
Oh yeah, yeah,
We're going to go probably the Midwest this next
yeah. We
year.
might. I've never been. I've been to years ago. I went to Wrigley, but that was 1974.
I went to Wrigley in 2001 or 3 and saw David Wells beat Carlos Zambrano.
Zambrano. Ooh.
And then, yeah, I've been to Comiskey Park and whatever the name of it is now.
Comerica.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No, Comerica is Detroit.
Oh.
U.S. Cellular or
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
something like that?
I think that's you.
It's a,
Whatever.
I can't think of what it's called now.
I was there 3 years ago. The last time I was there.
In St. Louis, I've been to 3 different parks they played in: Sportsman's Park, Busch Stadium, and now the new one.
We were at Old Bush, but I think Nathan was pretty young when we went that time.
No, I don't remember.
I went to Sportsman's Park before that in '63 and saw Stan Musial play.
What was Ebbets Field like there, Glenn?
I didn't go to Ebbets Field. So
Oh, sorry, Forbes Field?
I didn't go to there either.
Oh.
We know a player from Oklahoma named Jim Gentile that's one of the last 4 players alive that played at Ebbets Field.
That's
And another one lives in Oklahoma City, Bobby Morgan.
Oh. You guys have had a lot hold on. You guys have had a lot of players come through Oklahoma there, haven't you?
Yeah, for a small state population wise, a good percentage had been here. Of course, a lot of times they played minor league ball here. We count those.
Sure.
Well, I used to sit up in Joplin on Mickey Mantle's 7th hole, and he used to tell us stories all day long but while he played the guys as they come around their golf carts in this charity tournament.
It's not valid anymore.
Oh. I remember when we were on the YouTube with Philly Captain, you were telling me about a game you were at where you saw 4 Hall of Famers. When was that?
Yeah, that was my first game, June
Oh, okay.
4th, 1960 in Candlestick Park in San Francisco. I saw Stan Musial, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, and Orlando Cepeda, and they went a combined 0 for 10. The Giants, Jack Sanford beat the Cardinals 2-0, and Joey Amalfitano got the only double, and he drove in both runs to win it 2-0.
Oh, you guys got incredible memories. That's awesome. Just the times and the days and stuff.
I can't remember what happened on the
Yeah,
games we
I
just
know.
went to. It was like
Did you have any more stuff that you brought that you wanted to show us before we
Oh, yeah.
start wrapping things up?
What do you want to see?
Whatever you want to show us.
You want to see a Ty Cobb card?
Sure. Tilt it forward a little bit. The other way. There you go. Good job. Nice.
That's a 1919 coupon cigarette card, T213. It's a very rare card. It's probably worth. Oh, you don't want to know what it's worth.
Well,
It's very rare.
now, is that the same collection that the Honus Wagner card was in? The one that's so
no,
rare?
This is a coupon cigarette.
It's
okay.
different. Back
Let me show you the
in the
T206.
early days, the baseball cards would come in cigarettes.
These are the T206s, like I sent you pictures of.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you?
that's the T206s.
Okay.
Here, I'll hold one up. There's Hal Chase.
Bring it down a little bit, will you?
it's got a nice collar on
There
it.
you go. Nice.
That's blue. Yeah.
Cool.
He's one of the players that gambled on baseball, but he didn't get kicked out like the Black Sox guy.
Oh.
But that set, the T206s, there's 524 cards in the set. I have 515 of 524 cards.
The T stands for tobacco.
Yeah.
Tobacco
And
cards.
T206 is Jeff Burdick's card number and letter designation for the set. He wrote the first catalog of baseball cards.
Okay. Hey, Wayne, let me ask you, can you define the grading system for us on like baseball cards, how they decide what the grade is? It's like 1 to 10, isn't it? Isn't that the grading for those?
Yeah, it's based off of what they would do the early years of the grading coins. You know, a coin that was a 6 was more valuable than a coin that was graded a 5. So they had the same thing for baseball cards. Well, and other cards, sports cards. This is a what is this, Glenn?
Like Charizards? Like Charizards?
This is a 1999 Charizard PSA 10, Gem Mint 10, and it's worth a bunch of money.
So if you were going to sell that, you would get more money than if it was graded a 2.
You'd get 5 digits for that thing because it's
Right.
10, the best grade.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as much as I love baseball, man, I feel more connection with that Charizard card.
Okay, here's another one. I've got this is the first 300 game winner in baseball, Bud Galvin.
Okay, who did he play for?
A bunch of teams. He played back in the 1870s and 80s and early 90s. He's the first 300 game winner in the major leagues. He had 14 kids, and he died a pauper, and the town took up the collection to bury him.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's the first 300 game winner, and that's why I wanted a Bud Galvin card. And this is an 1887 Old Judge.
That's the cigarette.
Okay.
Old Judge, 1887.
Wow.
That's a very rare card.
And he's holding a bat instead of pitching motion. But back then, men were men, and pitchers.
Well,
batted.
he's got 4 different poses. He's got pitching poses, batting poses. He's got them all.
I'm glad. Hey, Wayne, I'm glad you said that. I was going to ask you, what do you guys think about the new rules that they've implemented this year in baseball?
Love it.
I like the time. That's been in the rule book forever. That's a rodeo wiener card.
This is my favorite set of cards. 1955 rodeo wieners.
You just like to say that. That's all.
There's 49 cards in that set, and the 56 set has 57. Yeah, there's the 56 set has 12 cards in it. They're very, very rare. They're scarce as hen's teeth.
They would be in your package of weenies. Your mom would buy at the store.
29-cent package of weenies.
And they would have this card on it. And it had a kind of a wax coating over it because the
weenie juice.
Yeah, the juice from the hot dog would sometimes run, and that would prevent the card from just being a wet mess.
Yeah.
But I like the timing. That's been in the rules for years, but they're just now making them enforce it. I like it. The ghost runner or the Manfred man at second base, I think is stupid.
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's something that you would do in children's leagues,
softball.
when you were running out of time and another team needed to take the field. That's not men.
It's not baseball.
That's not baseball. That's silly.
The Manfred
And,
man.
The big bases. They like the big bases.
I don't like the big bases.
No, me neither.
Now, I would be in favor of they have this in softball where they have 2 bases at first base, one in fair territory, one in foul, where the runner could continue and hit the base without knocking the first baseman over.
That'd be it. I wish that one was implemented.
I would agree. I would agree on that one. Like they're calling me up and asking me, but
well,
Yeah,
we are.
We
technically we're calling you and asking you. So
yeah.
Wade knows Manfred very well.
No, I don't know Mr. Manfred.
I like the
I doubt if he'd want to speak to me.
I like the Ghost Runner. I'm gonna call him the Manfred Man from now on.
Yeah,
Put the Manfred Man on second.
Yeah. Nope.
Tell them what we call the PSA holders, Wayne.
Oh, the PSA holders are what the grading company. You can see it here. If I can hold the card steady.
Yeah.
Where it says PSA there in red on the red.
yeah,
We call that the magic holder because their value will jump up many times over if they're in one of these plastic holders graded than just a card.
Because they're supposed to be the leading authority on authenticating things, and they miss the autographs from time to time. I guarantee you.
More than once.
They miss the grading too.
Yeah, I've stood next to Nolan Ryan, and he signed a Hall of Fame plaque for me, and I sent it in to get it graded and everything. They came back inconclusive. I said I stood right next to him when he signed it. So I guess
that's how they get out of it. They keep your money.
Right.
They question the authenticity, but they don't say it's fake.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't say that. And of
So
course,
they got your money. They don't give it back to you.
Yeah, you don't get your money back.
So you send your card to them, and then they grade it and they put it in the holder for you, and then send it back.
We call it the magic holder.
Because it makes everything double or
Yeah.
a lot more valuable.
The value jumps.
Your watchers will know all about this thing.
Interesting. So what if you put a card in a holder on your own? I mean, that's just for protection.
Doesn't do anything to it.
Yeah.
Well, you have to be reputable. There's a couple of grading services out there that are known for grading anything and giving
there's some other companies that are not very well known that are good graders as PSA. One of them's DGA, Dynamic Grading Authority. They're out of Illinois.
They're an up-and-coming company that is really, really good. In fact, Glenn and I have had some cards graded through that company. Been very, very pleased with them.
And they're a lot less expensive than PSA.
Right.
DGA.
Yeah, DGA out of Illinois. Good,
look it up in the internet.
Good people.
Check them out.
Awesome.
Yeah, good people. We recommend them.
Well, the last thing I want to piggyback on the rules. What do you think about the robot umpire?
Don't like it. No.
Mm-mm. We want that human touch.
Right.
I would agree.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know how technology is. We, trying to just connect on here was an issue. I can't imagine what if your robot umpire started glitching. I mean, what the heck,
Well, right. Well, what if the electricity comes out? You're going to pull. Is there going to be a standby man robot person sitting in the dugout? So.
Well, no. I don't like the overturning a call either. That takes the human error out of the picture. But they still screw up when they revisit and decide whether guys safe or out.
It takes forever. They almost take as much as football does.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's supposed to. The pitch count is to lower the time of a game, and those checking out or safe calls take way too much time.
Right.
So just let it go natural.
Yeah.
Let them argue over it.
All right. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, guys, I know you made special arrangements in your day to join us, and we really appreciate it. And it was really fun for us to get to meet you guys and spend some of the time on the baseball trip with you. And, Glenn, I don't mean this the wrong way, but you kind of became like the mascot on the bus trip. So
I did.
And it's really special to see your friendship because, Wayne, I know you I won't go into detail, but, Glenn, you had a little bit of a health issue or scare
That's
there.
Correct. Wayne took care of it.
And Wayne, gave up his time to see the game to make sure you're all right and spend time with you. And so
that's true.
It's really awesome to see you guys' friendship that's that strong and you guys got that tight of a bond. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well, thank you. Well, Glenn, you didn't know Glenn needed some medicine when we got back to the hotel after that. So I took
tell him where I went at City Field. I went in the emergency room.
He was in the emergency room.
They thought I had a heart attack.
Yeah. The highlight of that is we got to go past the Yankee clubhouse as we were wheeling him down the road there.
Hey, look, that's what the Yankees are.
And Glenn did not bring this. I wish he would have. I just now thought of it.
Oh, yeah.
Glenn had his doctor and his nurses sign a baseball for him. So he has a ball signed by, and they thought it was great.
They took my echocardiogram 3 times because they swore that I had a heart attack. They took it 3 different times to make sure I didn't before they released me to go back up in the stands. But what my problem was, I was exhausted. It was the 7th day of the run of games and stuff. And you know how we ran.
Yeah.
And I was just exhausted. That's all it was. I didn't have a heart attack. I had the heart of an ox. I'm 74 years old. I have the heart of an ox, but I was exhausted.
Yeah. And then I took a $60 to get some medicine for him. We got back to the hotel. I took a $60 cab ride through deepest, darkest Newark, New Jersey to go get him some medicine. And a couple times I was wondering where we were going. It was dark, trying to find a 24-hour pharmacy.
And I had to pay him back, too.
Yeah.
Well, you better.
Pay me back. So,
yeah.
Anyway, but we appreciate you guys. You guys are a lot of fun. And
hey, we'd be happy to be on any of your podcasts.
Right.
Anytime, sir.
Well, thank
Right.
you. I hope you guys help us get the
I
word
hope
out.
people enjoy it, and I hope they ask you all to have us back.
Yeah. Yo, baseball correspondents.
Yeah, there you go. World Series
Thank you.
World Series predictions before you go. I know you got the Rangers, Glenn. How about you, Wayne?
Well, I hope the Rangers win. I just don't know if they've got enough to overcome Houston and
Well, who do you think's going to win?
Tampa.
Houston?
Probably
Tampa or Houston?
American League, probably Houston. And I don't like Houston because they cheated.
Yeah,
And I will never like Houston. I will never like Houston until all those players on that 17 team. Is that right? 17?
Yeah, including Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, are out of baseball. I don't like that. That was cheating.
I was Dallas Keuchel's pharmacist for his whole life.
I
I
remember
was a
saying
pharmacist for 47 years.
Did you ask him if he cheated?
He did cheat. He apologized for it. He was the first Astro to apologize for cheating.
Nice.
So you say?
Yeah.
So you think Houston?
Houston, American League, and the National League. I think it will be Atlanta.
Atlanta. But Texas is going to beat Atlanta.
Well, I hope so, but I don't think so.
Well, I'll be at the games.
Nice.
You can do a live podcast from
We'll be there.
Glenn from Glenn at Arlington Arlington Stadium.
You give me one of those spinny cameras like the Philly captain has, and I'll go all through the stands at the World Series.
I believe it.
Mine written down. I had Astros over the Braves in the World Series at the beginning of the year.
There you go.
Hey, Nate.
But the rest of it's off. Don't talk about the rest of it.
If you guys buy World Series tickets in Texas, and it really happens, I'll be on your podcast every day and not charge you anything. How's that?
I'm not charging you now.
That's the deal.
Unless you did something.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
All right,
We're gonna turn down this $250 a piece you're paying us tonight. So
you
don't send us the check.
You have the decimal point in the wrong spot. It was $2.50 a piece.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
So you could buy some more Ritz crackers.
Well, yeah,
Ritz crackers.
You know what your talent is worth.
Yeah.
So come back to see us anytime, guys.
All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to say before we go, or?
No, just the Jay Buckley tours. If you're
Highly
a fan,
recommend it.
go online, and it is terrific.
It's terrific.
Great fun.
Let's see your shirt there, Wayne. Let's see your shirt there.
Sir?
Lift your shirt up there. There you go. Jay
Yeah.
Buckley Tours. There it is.
Jay Buckley tours.
All right.
Hey, I'll wear a Texas Ranger next time for you. The Texas Ranger hat. This is the Baltimore hat.
I recognize it. I recognize it.
Yeah.
Didn't you trade for that?
I traded for this. I traded a Jay Buckley tour hat for this hat.
Nice.
No, that was the Detroit hat. The other assistant traded me this hat. I had to buy him a Hall of Fame hat.
Yeah, Mike.
I had to buy him a Hall of Fame hat.
Yeah.
It's a nice hat, though.
Yeah. Do you guys remember what Mike's last name was? Hopper. We mentioned him last pod, and I couldn't remember his last name. Was it Hopper?
It's
got it written down.
It's down. Wait a minute. Here it is. But I just happen to have my Jay Buckley tour book.
Oh, nice.
And it is
Mike. Drum roll. Come on, Wayne, find it. I hope we make the.
This might be where we put the edit in.
Yeah, I hope our picture makes his book next year.
It says Hopper right here.
Hopper. Nathan's got it. He says it's Hopper.
I told you last episode too,
okay.
but it's okay.
Sorry.
You don't listen to me. It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Todd, listen to your boy. He's a pretty smart guy.
Yes, he is.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
He tells me that all the time. There you go. Jay Buckley Tours, highly recommended by Nathan and I and Wayne and Glenn.
Yeah, Jay's got to pay us for all this advertisement going on here.
Yeah. We need something.
We need
from him.
we need free trips.
Maybe we need to try to interview Jay Buckley. Maybe we need to try to get him on.
Todd.
There you go.
Yes,
Todd,
sir.
I want to apologize to you. I can't remember what for. It was for something.
Well, you owe me more than one.
You go, I know.
Oh, okay. I'll apologize you more than once.
All right.
Here, let me tap your shoulder.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we can't thank you guys enough for coming on, so we really appreciate it.
All right. Bye, Bye from Oklahoma.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
This is Nathan from Fast Attentions. Once again, a big thank you to Glenn and Wayne for joining us on this episode. If you'd like to see our interview in video, you can check it out on the Fast Attentions YouTube page as soon as I decide to get it uploaded. So make sure to check that out so you can see all the stuff they're showing us, all the cool things they brought. All right, now back to the episode. Well, shout out Glenn and Wayne for that lovely interview.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Those guys, real nice guys. And I can remember first day we got on the bus and Glenn's coming on. He goes, Todd, guess where I'm sitting? And I go, I would guess right behind me because otherwise he wouldn't have said anything. So, and from then on, he didn't stop telling us stories or stats or showing us pictures.
Well, I felt bad that first day because I was really tired. I just kind of wanted to chill. And he kept showing me all this stuff.
It was kind of nice because eventually he got tired and he would take a nap. So I mean, I'd look back and his head would be down, and I'd be like, "Oh, we can relax a little bit."
Well, he's funny too because he'd be like, "Am I bothering you yet?" I'll be like, "No, not yet."
Oh, he asked me that. I said, you were started bothering me like 20 minutes ago. He goes, "Okay," I go, "I'm just teasing you, Glenn." So,
well, he's a good sport.
yeah,
so.
he's real good. Like I said, everybody on the trip loved him, and just kind of, he had a little bit of a little issue there that we talked about with Wayne, and it was just, everybody was worried about him, and everybody was glad he was all right. So,
well, I was gonna say I remember a lot of those stories he was talking about, like I can't even think of what they were again.
yeah,
But a lot of stuff he mentioned, I don't remember him telling me that.
yeah, those two just have so much knowledge, and like I said, their recall of dates and years is just amazing. So,
Shoot, I can't. Like I said, I couldn't even remember like what happened in those games we saw like a week ago. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I went to this game in 1976, and they were 2-1 when this guy hit a double in the top of the seventh on a 1-2 count." I'm like, "What the hell?"
Glenn might be the only guy that talks about Philly captain more than me. So,
Jeez, that's a shocker. No one talks about Philly captain more than you.
yeah.
Well, anyway, speaking on the baseball front, you have some.
Well, yeah,
Snooze
they both profess to be Yankee fans, so I'm sure they were happy the other day when Domingo Germán pitched a perfect game.
Well,
First one since 2012. It was on June 28th, and he beat the A's 11-0 on 99 pitches. And I did see the highlights online, and they showed all 27 outs, and most of them were like pop-ups or ground-outs. I think maybe only 3 balls were hit fairly hard the whole day. So his movement and stuff was really working because the A's were off balance. Not that the A's are a great team. They're probably the worst team, sans the Royals. But, yeah, just a nice nice thing, and it's pretty rare. Like I said, first one in, 11 years? So
do you know who the last one was?
I do not.
It's Felix Hernandez.
Oh, for the
Mariners? Yeah. I
King
think
Felix?
so.
King Felix?
I think it was King Felix.
Awesome.
No, and to give you credit, the A's are not as good as the Royals.
Okay.
The Royals are better than them.
All right.
If that makes you feel better.
It does.
Even though they just traded Roldis Chapman, so now they've gone down.
To the Rangers,
Yeah.
which I messaged Glenn, and he was all excited about that.
Do you? I don't have your baseball predictions in here.
Well, you should.
Well, I don't.
You wrote them down.
Well, I just have mine.
Well, that sucks.
But we're at the halfway point. Would you like to go over what's going on right now in the baseball world? We don't have to go crazy on it.
We can just talk about the teams that are doing well. We don't need to mention teams that aren't.
Well, I didn't say that. I said we could just go through the teams right now.
Okay.
So, the playoff picture. So, as of today, the halfway point in the league, the first seed in the American League is the Tampa Bay Rays.
I believe I picked them.
I believe I don't have them in my wild card or my division winner. But that's okay. The number 2 seed is the Texas Rangers, who I don't have in my playoffs either.
I don't think I had them either.
Third is Cleveland. The Guardians are now in first place of that terrible, terrible division, who I happen to have, so that's good, I guess. I didn't think it'd be as bad. And then the wild cards are Baltimore, Toronto, and Houston. So I have Houston, Baltimore, Toronto, and Cleveland. So the top 2 seeds I didn't have.
Well, I have Fangraphs playoff chances statistics, so I'll go through those real quick since you started with the American League. They have Tampa Bay Rays at 99.4%. Glenn's Rangers, 82.5%. Wayne's hated Astros at 65.6%. They're both beloved Yankees at 63.7%.
They didn't make it.
The Orioles, who you picked, which I didn't, 61.3%. Twins at 59.4%. The Jays at 57.2%, and then a host of other teams below 500% or 50% chance, with the Royals and Oakland being at 0.0%.
What about Boston?
Red Sox were 18.4%.
Well, that's about to go up here in a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
The only game out of the... No, the 2 games out of the wild card.
All right.
No game behind the Yankees.
National League.
But hold on, before we do that, that's some bias right there. What gives them the right to put the Yankees at a higher percentage than the Baltimore Orioles, who are having a way better year?
I don't know.
See, that's that stupid Yankee media bias.
Mm-hmm.
So, because Baltimore for sure is going to make the playoffs. As they're probably going to go on a big downward spiral in the second half of the year, now that I said that. Okay. The first seed in the National League is the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, and Fangraphs gives them 100% chance of making the playoffs.
Well, I think they're probably going to be the representative in the National League.
That's a lock.
The Dodgers,
88.3%.
they're second.
Yes.
The Reds are third.
Ooh,
Leading
25.2%.
Leading the National League Central. Followed by Miami, who's leading the National League East.
64.2%.
Cincinnati and Miami. Did not predict that going into the year.
No.
Followed by surprise team, Arizona Diamondbacks.
78.7%.
Corbin Carroll's a beast over there. And then the Giants are in the last wild card spot.
68.2%.
So
With the Brewers at 60.2%. Sorry. The Phillies and Philly captain at 55.5%.
you don't have to
All
shout.
the way down to the Nats and Rockies at 0.0. Welcome to the cellar, boys.
You don't have to shout out the Philly captain every time you say
sorry.
Philadelphia.
Aye, aye, Captain.
You're funny.
I can't hear you.
Okay. You're funny.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Reds are 50 and 41 now. Pretty crazy.
Well, what about L.A. De La Cruz? We talked about him hitting for the cycle. Then yesterday, gets on, steals second, steals third, steals home. Incredible.
Forget about it.
This guy he's the new thing. And Cincinnati is loving it, and he's just carrying that whole team with him. He's bringing the Reds back, and it's good to see a classic team like the Reds doing good again. You know, they just were always one of the top teams when I was younger, and then, you know, the Big Red Machine of the 70s, and it's just good to see them, you know, playing some winning ball again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always good. All you need is a face. Now you get that fan base all excited again. Now there's hope in Cincinnati once again. That's always good to see.
It is.
So, yeah, playoff predictions pretty shitty right now, but not too bad. So, do you have any more baseball? I think that's baseball.
Well, in the baseball vein, did you see where the cameraman got hit in the Orioles game when they were playing the Yankees?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there was a ground ball hit to shortstop Gunnar Henderson, and he overthrew Ryan Hearn at first base, and he was trying to complete a double play. And, you know, sometimes when you're trying to complete a double play, you try to hurry on the pivot because maybe the batter's like a faster guy. And he just lost the ball, and it sailed into the camera well and actually struck the camera operator. And he was later identified as Pete Stendel of the Yes Network, which is the Yankees network. And he suffered an orbital fracture, which is a fracture around the eye.
Yep.
But the game was delayed about 20 minutes while they took care of him and carted him off the field. And when he was being carried off, he threw up the peace sign to let people know that he was conscious and stuff. And last we heard, they said he's at home recuperating. So
That's good.
yeah, glad to hear that, Pete, and I hope you recover fast and get back out there.
Yeah, shout out Pete, but you scared me for a second when you said he was later identified. It sounded like the man like decomposed or something over there in the camera well. That would have been scary.
Yeah, I needed to put a dunk.
Dun 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 dun. Oh, sorry. That reminds me of Ted. Did you see Ted 2 when they did the Law and Order? They would sing along to it.
I just saw the original.
No, but then they had
With you?
It was the second one.
I didn't see the second one.
I've never seen the original, so it was the second one.
Oh, well, maybe it was Sam
I-
went with us.
Yeah, no, because you went, and then we went to go see the second one because Mom didn't want us to go see it, but we went anyway. Because that's the one where he was hiding in the thing in Boston, and the guy goes, "Sweet Caroline," and Ted goes, "Ba ba ba," and he goes, "Oh shit," and then because he finds them.
Well, because our original tour last year, not this year, but the lady was telling us, well, that's the spot where Ted fell from the light tower. So that was part of the Fenway tour. So that was funny that she mentioned that.
No, yeah, I've never seen the first one.
Have you seen this? I have the competitors for the home run derby.
I don't know the entire list, but I know
There's
some of the
8.
people on the list.
And they're matched up against each other. Do you want to hear the list and make a prediction, or you just want to hear the list? And
Well, I'll hear the list and I'll figure out if I want to make a
Okay.
prediction.
The first is Luis Robert Jr. versus Adley Rutschman.
Ooh, White Sox versus Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Pete Alonso against Julio Rodriguez.
Okay.
I believe this was a repeat matchup from last year, they said.
What do you got to have the home run boy in there? I mean, the hometown boy, home run boy.
Yeah. Watch Nathan's reaction on this one. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. versus Mookie Betts. Stoic face. And Odalis Garcia versus Randy Arozarena.
Odalis Garcia versus Randy Arozarena.
Do you have somebody you like in that?
Pete Alonso.
You like Pete Alonso? You think he's going to do it again? Didn't he win last year?
He won 2 years in a row, I think.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he hasn't. I don't think he's done it again since.
Yeah. I'm going to take, no offense to you, I'm going to take Vlad Guerrero Jr. I think he's...
No offense to me.
He did it last year, and I think he's got the experience, and he kind of knows the right way to do it now. So I'm going to give it with him.
Who do you? Adolis Garcia is also probably second. I would say.
Randy Arozarena could surprise too. I mean,
no.
Just if somebody gets hot, they just can take off and just.
Well, Pete Alonso was hurt too, so maybe it'll.
Yeah.
He was hurt at one point, so.
Yeah, well, he was hurt while we were there to see him.
Yeah. So.
Shout out him.
Can I change to Adolis Garcia?
You can change it whatever you want.
I'll go Adolis Garcia.
All right, you've duly noted.
But he may also be one of those guys that gets tired like in the second round. Like when Stanton does it and he hit like 50.
Well, that little kid will run out with a towel and a Gatorade bottle for him.
But that won't help. Remember when Josh Hamilton hit like 36 in a round?
Yes, I do.
And then he like did nothing in the finals because
Nice.
he was probably so damn tired.
Probably.
But that should be the real winner, the guy who hits 36 in a round. Yeah, we'll just screw the tournament. We'll just give it to him. So, what are you pointing at me for?
What you got?
I don't have anything written down.
Nothing?
No, but
Oh.
I never have anything written down.
What would you think if I went, no?
Sports Center.
No, you'd think layoffs.
No, I think a Sports Center.
Oh.
But I did see that there's a lot of ESPN layoffs.
Yeah, I have a list of some of the people that got laid off by ESPN, and some big names. Susie Kolber, been there 27 years.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, she does a lot of the women's sports. Does a lot of the human interest side of stuff. That kind of stuff. Real popular. She does some on the field work for the football games and stuff. Todd McShay, who's does the draft with Mel Kiper Jr. He's
I know who Todd McShay is.
He's a big one. I'd rather see him dump Field Yates and kept him. But
dang, we don't root for anyone to get their jobs laid off. No, I think I do know who Susie Colbert is. I just didn't know what the hell her name was.
Joe Theismann knows who she is. Shout out. If you don't get that reference, Google it. YouTube it. Keyshawn Johnson got let go from the Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max show.
Well, because what's-his-face got gone, too.
Yeah. Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
Did a lot of studio work for him. Steve Young did a lot of their Monday night coverage on the field with the boys. Now, I had heard Desmond Howard had gotten released, but upon further review, I could not clarify that. So we're going to say for now he's still employed. But on the college football front, I did also see David Pollock got released, and he was a former All-American linebacker at Georgia that had been on the show. And he wasn't one of the main studio guys. He was like probably the second tier of the guys, but pretty knowledgeable. Nice-looking guy. Good talking. Just he did a good job. I didn't mind David Pollock. So apparently ESPN is just not controlling the market like they used to, and there's so many other options out there and stuff now. So ESPN's got to kind of pick and choose who they're going to keep and who they're not keep. But I expect most of these players. Well, Susie Kolber, Todd McShay, I definitely expect them to land on their feet somewhere.
Oh yeah, they're not going.
Matt Hasselbeck, Steve Young, I expect them to probably get something. I'm sure Dave Pollock will too, and Keyshawn I'm not so sure about, but I think they should all land on their feet somewhere. And have an opportunity. So
you don't got Max Kellerman on there,
no,
or Jalen Rose is gone,
no,
and so is Jeff Van Gundy. I like Jeff Van Gundy.
I did see Jeff Van Gundy.
They say he may go back into coaching now because he got laid off. Oh. So they say he was in talks with the Celtics for an assistant job before they hired a bunch of people. So yeah,
interesting.
I like Jalen Rose too. Did I say Jalen Hurts?
No, you said Jalen Rose.
Okay, for some reason I thought I said Jalen Hurts, and I go, that's pretty bad of me. But yeah, Jalen Rose is all that. He say some stupid stuff sometimes. But
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people mad. They go, they should have fired Kendrick Perkins. Even though I kind of like Kendrick Perkins, but he's a Celtic hater.
Well, if you don't have anything else, let's kind of skip into our Nuggets section. What do you think?
The Nuggets? We're done with all your stuff?
Yeah.
I thought you had more stuff.
Well, I'm going to save it for my Nuggets section.
Oh,
Got
really?
a couple things for the Nuggets section.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't have anything written down. Well, I was going to play off of you once we want to talk. I want to talk about Damian Lillard.
Oh, well, you go ahead then. We won't get in the capsule yet. We'll just wait on the launching pad.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have any Nuggets. You can just talk about it. We don't need to have a Nuggets section if you don't want to.
Well,
it's not like we need to have the Nuggets section.
I do have a little thing about a basketball player, our new number 1 draft pick, Victor Wembanyama. Did I say that right?
Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
But we can talk about that like in the segment, I think.
Okay.
The stuff.
Did you hear about it and what happened?
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell me what you've heard, and I'll tell you. I kind of researched a little bit, and
Okay. Well, I haven't done a whole lot of research, and I've only seen things about it.
Okay.
Britney Spears was her team is suing.
Well, she was.
She's suing his security.
His security team. Well, what happened was.
Okay.
I don't know where it was specifically, but she saw him going through the crowd somewhere.
Yeah, she was like,
and she wanted to go up and say, "Hey, her version is she wanted to go up and congratulate him for, his career, being the number 1 pick, blah blah blah." So she tapped him on the shoulder, but her security pushed her away, and she claims that they pushed her so hard they kind of hit her in the face and all this. Well, Victor says he didn't even know it was her until hours later because his security detail told him not to stop for anybody, just to keep going, which is kind of shitty, I think. But anyway, so he didn't find out till later. And then she sued his security team for damages or whatever. Well, then the Las Vegas Metro Police Department investigated, and they chose not to file any charges based on what they found out. And then I did see on one of the social media platforms, I think it was Twitter or something, that Brittany actually came out and apologized. So
there was a video. Did you see the video?
I did not see the video.
Well, because I think it was it wasn't just like a little tap. It was like a prolonged, like, hey, hey, hey.
Well, I'm just saying what she said.
And then he was walking away, and so I think the guy kind of it looked like he smacked her.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
she said she got hit in the face.
Yeah, I don't know if he meant to smack her, but yeah, he kind of hit her. I don't think she fell, if I remember correctly. She may have, but yeah, I don't think it wasn't like. I don't know. It's just kind of a stupid situation.
She should have said it. She should have said, "It's Brittany's bitch." Or Brittany, bitch. Sorry, I messed that up.
It's Brittany's. It's Brittany's. Whatever it is, it's Brittany's.
It's Brittany, bitch. There you go, I got it.
No, yeah. So, yeah, that's just a weird thing. And then did you see he had a really rough opening debut in the Summer League?
Yeah, he said he got like 9 points and his conditioning was way off. So,
well,
of course, he's been traveling and doing all these press junkets and, interviews and fanfare of this and that. I'm sure he hasn't been training like he's supposed to and probably hasn't been playing much ball at all. So...
Yeah, but he didn't shoot that well from 3. But they said he did a good job passing stuff, and then he got dunked on. That's not a.
Ooh.
There's a big photo of him getting dunked on, and all the Britney Stan accounts on Twitter keep posting videos of Wembanyama saying that's what he deserved. Because social media's got to have a Stan account of everything. So. But no, main free agent wise, the only thing I want to talk about is Damian Lillard finally requested a trade out of Portland. It's been like 8 years in the making. Because he says he wants to stay with Portland, but he wants to win. But Portland sucks, and they ain't going to be winning anytime soon. So he finally made the request. And this is kind of, I don't know, I kind of wanted to pose this as a question towards you. Because he requested a trade, and he said he wants to play for Miami.
I saw it. I saw somewhere he said Miami only. Apparently his only option he's given him to be traded to.
So, well, he's saying he wants to play for Miami. He requested a trade. Well, the Portland Trail Blazers, I don't know if they've come out and said it, but it's been reported. I'm going to say it's been reported because I don't know if this is true and what's not. So before I make any bold statements about Damian Lillard and his PR or the Trail Blazers PR. Well, they said they're not going to necessarily try and do like a gesture trade where they trade him to where he wants to go and thank him for his service. They're going to field packages and listen to what other teams are offering. So if someone else besides Miami offers them a better trade, they'll send them somewhere else depending on what it is. But I think his agent is coming out and saying and telling other teams that, well, he doesn't want to play for you. He only wants to go play for Miami. So if you make these trade packages and, well, he's not going to report for training camp, blah, 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 blah. So now it's I don't know how you feel about players, like, because they deserve the right to say where they want to go, right? They don't have to stay to a team and be loyal, whatever. Because it's all in the end of the day. Yes, it's nice to be like take less money, play for this team, but you got to worry about yourself and your future and what you want. And he's been with Portland his whole career. He finally wants to win. But do you think it worrisome that he's been the loyal guy? Now he's kind of because people on Twitter have kind of like, well, Damian Lillard's always kind of a cool guy, but now he seems kind of like an asshole, saying he's only going to want to play for Miami and nowhere else. Do you kind of worry about like how that perceives you, I guess, as like a player? Or
no? I think I know what you mean, but I think Damian Lillard's been there long enough and has shown enough loyalty to Portland to be able to request the trade. I don't think Portland's kind of showed him the same loyalty by trying to build a winner around him as well as they probably could have.
No, yeah,
maybe. They've had opportunities, but just they haven't seemed to pull in the big names. Maybe because they don't want to come there, or because they haven't tried to get him there. But nobody can question Damian's faithfulness to the Trailblazers, trying to get them a championship, or even in the playoffs. I mean, I can't think of too many people in Portland that would be angry at him for wanting to move on and try to win a title somewhere else.
Well, not necessarily Portland. I meant more of like just the media perception. Like, well, now I only want to play for this team and blah, 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 blah. It makes it kind of look more like a...
Well, the fact that he only wants to play for a specific team might have some backlash, but I can't see any Trailblazer fans getting upset with him. I mean, he's given them enough time to do something, and it just hasn't happened. And he's not getting any younger. And you got to strike while the iron's hot, as they say. And I don't know, is he close friends with some of the players on the Miami team, or does he live in Miami, or do we know what the circumstances are why it's Miami and nobody else?
No, I don't know. But everyone like they always talk about that stupid Heat culture. They always talk about the Heat culture is so good. And then Miami's just it's a city people want to go to. There's no state tax there, right? Or city tax. There's no tax there. So that's always a benefit for a lot of players. They don't got to worry about that. And then Weber's nice. They're a good team. You go play with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, who's both really good players. It's probably a good chance for him to win a championship, so I don't blame him. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think he'll eventually probably end up getting traded there anyways, because I think they'll make the deal for him. But we'll see. The Knicks could offer a package maybe if the Knicks wanted to get involved. The Celtics said they weren't interested. I don't know who else could be really interested in it. Plus, I don't know how all the cap and all that stuff works. So, but it's interesting because he's still got a big contract. So whoever's going to get him is going to get a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look up here necessarily. Team Damian Lillard. Trade candidates. There we go. Potential trade offers from his preferred destinations: Miami, Celtics, Brooklyn Nets, New York Knicks. There you go. Okay. So the ones I named. Hey, pretty good for me.
Yeah, good job.
All right, cool.
Well, as we're recording, the MLB draft's taking place, and so I guess my first nugget will be the number one pick.
Oh.
So let's climb in the capsule. Let's belt in and get this thing going. The Pittsburgh Pirates had the first pick, and they took LSU's Dylan Cruz, the LSU outfielder who just won the national championship here in Omaha a couple weeks ago.
He was second, wasn't he?
So, no, he went first.
You sure?
So, yeah, that's what I saw. So, congratulations to Dylan Cruz on being the number one pick. Nathan's going to double check that.
Paul Skeens went first.
Oh, well.
Dylan Cruz was second.
Congratulations to Dylan Cruz being the number 2 pick overall.
I was going to say, they're both LSU, though.
Do you have a nugget on the MLB draft, Nathan?
Oh, the first pick in the MLB draft was Paul Skeens, that pitcher. He's the guy that throws like 102, right?
Yeah.
It was really fast.
Wasn't he just here a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, for the College World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
LSU going 1 and 2.
So he went to Pittsburgh. Dylan Cruz going to Washington.
Well, you want to run down the picks, the top 5 picks or so for us?
Sure, may as well. I got him up. Paul Skeens was number 1. I don't know if you guys knew that.
From?
LSU.
Okay.
Dylan Cruz was second, outfielder from?
LSU.
Max Clark, the outfielder, went to Detroit third from?
Marietta, Georgia High School.
Franklin High School, whatever city that's in. And then Wyatt Langford, who was also here recently.
Florida outfielder.
Florida outfielder. And then fifth was Walker Jenkins. He's from South Brunswick High School.
Oh.
And he's an outfielder.
Nice. Do you want to mention who the Royals and the Red Sox took?
They both took catchers. You guys took Blake Mitchell, eighth, who's a high school catcher. But I think the top catcher was considered to be Kyle Teal from Virginia, and that's who Boston ended up taking 14th. But people could kind of crap on whatever they want about that, but you never know until they get out there. Sometimes people like a guy, or like you said, the thing about the salary caps. I think he said that when we were recording. So, I mean, that's a valid reason. Red Sox did that a few years ago. They took a guy because he would sign for less, Nick York, but then he ended up being a pretty good prospect. So you just never know. Because there's always a bust. There's always a bust, and there's always a guy late in like the 30th round that's going to be really good. You never know. So if you got a guy and you like him, you should just take him. That's usually mine. Unless it's like a Victor Wembanyama who's first. Well, you kind of got to take him because he's like a once-in-a-generational talent. Unless Britney Spears comes along and it ruins his career. So, but we don't know.
If he has a shoulder injury, we know why.
Yeah. Oh, baby, baby.
Well, I think she might try it one more time.
That's pretty toxic.
Nathan's. Oh, go on, brother. Give me some.
That was a sad fist bump.
That was. Well, hey, we appreciate you listening. Tell the good folks where they can find us, Nathan.
Oh, you don't have any more nuggets?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So you can listen to us on
We're on
Spotify.
the moon right now. We're on the moon.
Thank you, everyone. You can listen to us on Spotify. That's not a good like a helmet sound. But anyways, you can listen to us on Spotify. We have 17 Spotify followers now. That's pretty nice.
If you do listen on Spotify, please rate us, review us, share us. All those 5-star reviews we can get helps expand our brand and gets us out there. You know, it makes you more available for searches. You know, people Google sports podcast or what have you. It just makes us more visible to more people. So we thank you for doing that. And also, we're on the YouTube platform.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. Fast Intentions Podcast. We have a channel.
We're on 31 followers.
Subscribers.
Subscribers, thank you. And if you have comments, we always ask for comments or, you know, questions or whatever. Feel free to reach out. We haven't really heard much lately. Somebody did ask about the origination of the podcast name, so we might tackle that one here in a few weeks because Nathan doesn't want to put in the comment sounder, so I'll save that. But yeah, we appreciate it.
I never said that.
But yeah, please go out to Twitter and, you know, follow us on Twitter and help us out. And you know, we tweet out when the show drops and, you know, pictures from our trip. Nathan will have some stuff from the Bananas game. A couple of things we talked about tonight on the podcast. He'll post those.
I don't have a whole lot from my trip, to be honest, but
whatever. And, you know, what have you. So, we appreciate you guys listening very much, and hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Once again, we want to shout out Wayne and Glenn for coming on, and
our baseball correspondents.
Yeah, so just enjoyed that talk with those guys. So,
shout out my boys.